Story 1. 5. 0K. R. Malicious Compliance. Posted by U.D.T. Harry. 18 hours ago. You need to share the run, no wuckas. Sock. I worked at a furniture delivery place a couple years back. I did a 420 kilometers trip to a truck stop and waited to swap trucks with another driver, then made the same trip back. Give or take 850 each way. I did this Mondays and Tuesdays with the occasional Wednesday. One of the boys gets annoyed and speaks up saying, why does he get the easy job? All he does is drive. I want to have a turn. It's not fair, he is the only one to get it every week. Manges get pissed. Tell me I need to switch and be fair with the rest of the drivers and not hog the easy run. All good. I told him go for your life. What he didn't realize is there is literally nothing to do other than pull over for a 5 to 10 minute break and your lunch. You can't cruise like if you were an offsider. Most crews had 2 to 3. One being a designated driver and the others being labor. You'd chill in the cab. Sometimes have a nap and wait till the next location and maybe move 3 items max per job and build a couple. It was a total of 8 to 10 hours driving. I've always loved long drives. I love long airplane trips and stays in hospital. I'm just weird. I chuck on my music and go about it. I don't need to interact with people. See? All the other boys had done the run before. No one liked it. You got far more breaks actually doing deliveries and the such. Had he asked me about it, I'd have told him. But since he got pissy, I just decided to set the navman up for him and move on. He lasted 1 round trip. The moment he got back to the yard, he said, this is bullshit. You can have it back, but I said nah. I like this more. You told them you wanted the run. You can have it. He took me out for a night on the piss and I got the run back, lol. 186 comments. Award. Share. Save. 131 people here. If you are enjoying this video, like, comment, subscribe, and turn notifications on. Story 2. $477. R. Malicious Compliance. Posted by U. 1,836,492,746. 6 hours ago. You want me to deliver on time? I'm not going to keep doing other people's jobs for them. Then. Sock. First time posting here, but I randomly remembered this small bit of malicious compliance from my teen years. Every morning for about 4 years I'd wake up at 7 a.m. to deliver papers around my neighborhood. Sleep schedule was perfectly timed, so everything ran smoothly. Then the shop I worked for got new owners. They would slowly start adding papers to my round, but didn't pay me any extra. They were weird additions too, like clumps of 3 or 4 houses 10 streets away. I eventually found out that every time a kid quit their street, the owner split up their round and tagged it onto other people's rounds, instead of getting new workers. Before long, the amount of papers I had to deliver had doubled. I had to wake up earlier and earlier to take on this extra amount. Every week I would be surprised with extra papers, so I wasn't used to this and delivered late frequently. I also slept through my alarms from my sleep schedule being messed up. Customers started complaining to my boss. Every week I got more texts, deliver on time or we're giving your round to someone else. I bit my tongue for a while. I waited patiently. Then finally it happened again. Delivery sheet said I had 10 new papers. All for streets miles apart. It would have added an hour onto my round. Perfect. What did I do? I left them on my curb. Waited for that angry text from my boss. Blah blah hasn't gotten their paper, messaged my boss, you wanted me to deliver on time and I have. I think you made a mistake because these aren't my papers, so I left them on the curb for you to pick up. She eventually turned up and had to deliver them herself 6 hours late. The next morning, the extra papers were gone. Probably tagged onto some other poor teen's round, but from then onwards she never messed with me again. TLDR boss gave me increasing workload and got mad when I couldn't deliver on time. Next time she increased. I pretended Shed made a mistake in order to comply with her wishes. 17 comments. Award. Share. Save. 133 people here. If you're enjoying this video, like, comment, subscribe, and turn notifications on. Story 3. $1. 2K. Malicious Compliance. Posted by Purple_mongoose. 11 hours ago. If I don't answer my home phone after hours, you have to do the work. MOC. First time posting here, and I am not sure if this belongs, but I'll give it a try. Back in the late 2000s I managed a call center. We conducted opinion surveys for government programs and universities mostly, but no selling. Background. During the busy season, one would have about 8 supervisors and approximately 100 staff on the phones, with hours from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. With the long operating hours, I was not there all the time, so I had to rely on my supervisors to make decisions when I was not there. Working with the supervisors, I wanted to enable them to make decisions on their own and not have to call me for everything. My line of thinking was that it would give them confidence to do their job more effectively. If I disagreed with their decision, I would call them in my office at the earliest opportunity to discuss why I thought it was. Get their opinion and, if needed, come up with a solution. It sounds cheesy, but it was important to me for them, and me, to have it as a learning experience. Issue. At one point we hired a manager who manages the call center managers. There were several call center across the country. While he was a nice guy, he was a terrible micromanager. Let's call him MM. He would be the type of guy who would email minutes after a project manager's email with a question asking what the plan was. For reasons unknown to me, he had issue with the supervisors making decisions on their own. They were instructed to call me requesting decisions on everything. I went from no calls a night while I was at home to several, and before you ask, no, there was no extra pay for getting these calls or a cell phone to take those calls. Well, one night I was not home to take a call and an important decision had to be made. The next day MM instructed the supervisors to call him if I was not available. You can probably guess where this is headed. I stopped answering any calls at home and let everything go to voicemail. This meant the supervisors had to call MM, which now happened at almost every night. MM asked me pretty quickly why I did not take any calls, and I would say a different answer every time as to explain why I was out. I don't know if he ever caught on, but he never made any changes to his decision. I really enjoyed my time there and the interactions with my staff. Within 6 months of his arrival, he destroyed it, and I found employment elsewhere. Update. I have had a couple of comments asking if I fought the decision. I did try to fight it when he first brought it up. Of course I did, because it was a dumb decision. But it was his decision and nothing I could do about it. I did hope all the calls he get would help him see the error of his ways, but it did not. The supervisors knew where the decision came from and knew there was nothing I could do about it. 54 comments. Award. Share. Save. 149 people here. If you're enjoying this video, like, comment, subscribe, and turn notifications on. Story 4. $986. Malicious Compliance. Posted by UPA_throwaway 1 day ago. Need a car. MOC. Throwaway for obvious reasons. Background. I'm a police officer in a large city in the south of England. In the police, there are 4 levels of driving. For ease, I'll call these 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 being the lowest level, normal driving, and 1 being the highest, high-performance cars. Blue lights. All levels of drivers can drive any police vehicle. Caste. Me, Me. A PC of 18 months service at the time of this story. Level 4 driver. Tom. A PC called Tom. Who was, and probably still is, a dick. A newly qualified level 2 driver with 3 years service at the time. Sergeant. A sergeant on my team. The story. A few years ago I was on a response team, answering 999 calls. The general rules on vehicle allocations is first come first served. However, if there are no vehicles available, then lower level drivers have to give up their vehicle to higher qualified drivers. Simple. On this faithful day several years ago, the high-powered vehicle was away for a service. And in its place an old shitty Vauxhall Astra estate, so we weren't short of a car. Also on the fleet was a brand new, less than 1,000 miles, Ford Focus estate. Now I was the first out of the briefing room and into the yard. So I made a beeline for the brand new motor and whipped the keys out of the ignition. Tom also made a dart for the vehicle. Realizing I got the keys, he clapped his hands together and gestured for me to throw him the keys. Nope. No chance. What a dick. He started to complain that H is the higher qualified driver and so needs the car. My response. The shitty Astra's still available. Off I went to check my emails before heading out. As I'm logging on. A private call on my radio. It's the sergeant. Sergeant. Tom says there's no cars and you won't give him your car. Me. I'll pop into the office. Off I went to the office and explained how Tom was a dick. And was being a dick and that there is a car available, the shitty Astra, which he just doesn't want. Sergeant. Make sure Tom's got a car. As long as it's got 4 wheels it'll do. Me. No worries. I think you can see where this is heading. Dot. 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 Off I go into the yard and collect the keys to the shitty Astra. Me. Tom. Sergeant said to make sure you've got a car. Here you go. I give him the keys to the Astra. Tom. Big shit eating grin. He didn't challenge me on vehicle allocations again. And generally stayed out my way until he left a few months later. OK sign. 128 comments. Award. Share. Save. 35 people here. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and turn notifications on.